Somebody go check on Akaash. Somebody go send that man a fruit basket. Okay, send him a subscription to BetterHelp. This whole situation is disgusting. It's sad. It's giving Aisha Curry on steroids. The lengths women will go to just destroy the image of their husbands, of their man, it has to be studied. You go out there, you embarrass your husband. It looks bad on a personal level because it's like, that's your man, that's your husband. Why would you want people to clown him like that? You know this is going to give him backlash, especially you got haters. You know he's going to get backlash from this, but you're going to still go out there and embarrass him and cause him mental turmoil. And then if we remove love from it entirely and just think of it as a business relationship, if you embarrass this man to the point where he starts losing sponsorships, people don't want to work with him anymore, he loses credibility, guess what? You messed up the bag. So it's just stupid all around to get out here and embarrass your husband, embarrass your man, embarrass the man that is a part of your household, the father of your children. It looks a damn mess. So if you guys didn't know, Akaash Singh, I think I'm saying that right. I think he's a comedian, okay? I've never heard him tell a joke, but apparently he is a comedian. Akaash, to his own word, has only ever been with this woman. A lot of people looked at him as a simp because of that. With this coming out, it makes it look really bad.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akaash only dates brown. Akaash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an Indian woman.
So this is like loyal through and through.
Okay. Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
You were doing what? You were doing what? With who? Where? Painfully nostalgic? Girl, we didn't need to know that. I understand people have their feelings. We don't need to know everything that you're feeling. So like I said, you could have kept this to yourself. You could have kept this playa. You could have felt this way this entire time. Guess what? We didn't have to know. But you know what? Maybe for his sake, it's good that we know. Well, not we, but he. It's good that he knows. He could either look at this and be like, course correct, or he can lean more into the dysfunction and stay with her. Painfully nostalgic. That means while she is with this man, she is with this husband of hers, she is thinking about getting ran through by other men. So that means you're probably thinking about other men while you're with him. You're thinking about other men when you're not with him. That is embarrassing. His wife is a representation of him, of his leadership. And if under your leadership, your broad is saying she reminisces, she's nostalgic about other men entering her, what does that say about you, Akaash? You ain't got no leadership. It seems like she's one of those broads, got with somebody as a might as well. Oh, I'm getting older, might as well get with this man. Might as well settle down. I don't think she likes him, because if you like somebody, you would not want other people clowning them. And you can't tell me that you're so ignorant that you don't know that the internet is gonna do what the internet does. People get roasted for way less. So you know how the internet works. I know you know how the internet works. We're not gonna play dumb. So you understand the repercussions that are going to follow after this, and you still did it. And not only that, you did it multiple times, because there's another clip.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. I just know that Nav is like at least 10 inches. Okay, I have two butthole stories. So one time.
Okay, whoa, hold up. We need to unpack this first part before we even, girl, whoa. And the fact that this broad is kikiing while this other broad is talking about her man's peen, this is dysfunction. This is some ratchet shit. Y'all over here kikiing about his peen, about her husband's peen. You said it gets worse. It always gets worse. The fact that she is sitting over here glazing another woman's husband while you got a whole husband of your own. She's definitely comparing. He's not that guy, the guy she's describing, the guy she truly wants. This is a might as well, I need to get out the game before the game eats me live. She don't like that man. That's why she has no issue getting out here and talking about how another woman's man, oh, his face card, his body. She's like salivating at the mouth, thinking about another man and knowing that it's being filmed. You know other people are gonna see this. You are going on an entire humiliation ritual of your husband. This is something you do to an enemy. You embarrass the fuck out of an enemy. You don't do this to somebody that you love, that you care about. And this is why I was getting on Aisha Curry too, because it's like y'all have a family and you going out there and embarrassing your husband is embarrassing his brand. You're making the block hot for your husband. That's why I've said before, women, I'm sorry, we talk too much. We need to learn how to keep things to ourselves. When you're married, your business is your partner's business. You think, oh, I'm just talking about my sexual adventures. No, you're now talking about your husband because guess what? He wiped that up. You're putting that information out there. He wiped you up. Now you got him looking stupid. And look, I'm not saying that these men are perfect husbands. I don't know these men. They can be menaces. There are ways you can handle it without embarrassing the father of your children, without messing up the bag for your household, for your family. We don't need to know everything. Social media has conditioned everybody to just word vomit. Some things do not need to be online, but these broads, they're thirsty for attention, and secretly, I think they hate their husbands. Go get you some couples therapy. Hell, sit down at your dining room table and talk that ish out. Take us out the group chat, but they can't. People are addicted to attention.
Okay, I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to hook up, and I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God. They got kids? This nasty little heifer and Akaash, do they have kids? If so, my heart goes out to them if they have kids. Jay Tillman, you said no kids. Let's keep it that way. Do not bring babies into this foolishness. We didn't need to know that, and we don't need to know this either.
Do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
What?
I just think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I
Yeah.
could never do that.
Did she really just out her mouth? Bruh, it did get worse. Y'all wasn't lying. It did get worse. It got exponentially worse. What you mean? I can't do that thinking about my husband. She don't like that man. She don't like that man. She got with him so that she had a way out of Hodom. She wanted a ticket off the streets and he got her the ticket. I feel like if he were to file for divorce, he should not have to pay her a damn thing. There should be something on the books where if you do this, you get nothing. And I'm not a big divorce person. I like when couples work through their problems, you know, unless it's a dangerous situation. I like couples work through their problems. But man, I don't think you can recover from this. Leave this hoe and then go get with somebody that actually likes you for you.
When your husband split finances, and I'm gonna be really
I don't.
we don't.
We don't.
We don't.
First
And-
of all, that's a red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work, all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money.
Akaash is one simpity simp. Because if she's saying this stuff out loud, what kind of conversations do you think they were having behind the scenes? Akaash must have some low ass self-esteem to be tolerating this. She's a very attractive woman, right? Like, I'm not gonna pretend. She's looking at Akaash and thinking, well, he's gonna worship the ground I walk on because he could never get a baddie like me. So he's gonna do whatever he can to keep me. Doesn't matter if I embarrass him. Doesn't matter if I talk about how much I'm lusting after other men. It doesn't matter. Why? Because he has such low self-esteem that he would never leave me because he doesn't want to lose someone that looks this good because he can never get somebody that looks this good. He has this low self-esteem despite being accomplished. People can still have extremely low self-esteem. Every single thing that the manosphere says about broads, this bitch is a amalgamation of all of them, all in one. She's an all-in-one modern woman. I do think marriage is a beautiful thing. I really do. But I understand why men don't want to get married. Heifers like this, they ruin it. Even if you're with somebody and you think that they're solid, in the back of your mind, you're always going to be wondering, especially if you are achieving at a high level, you're always going to be wondering, is she just waiting to rug pull me? And unfortunately, prenups don't protect you the way that they should. She is literally all the things that the red pill talks about, all in one, and Akaash put a ring on it.
And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money. Okay?
I don't know if you watched The Boys, but I love him on The Boys.
I never watched that show, but like he's on my hall pass list.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
I think that's sick to even have the idea of a hall pass, to even think about having a hall pass. If you guys didn't know, a hall pass basically just means if you were to run into this person and they wanted to sleep with you as a married woman, your husband or your wife would allow it because they're on your hall pass. They're one of your, if I could ever, I would people. How is this affecting him mentally and emotionally? Everyone wants to think about empathy, and a lot of these bras, they love to say, I'm an empath. But then they can't understand that doing this could cause so much mental strife and turmoil. They have no empathy for the men they're with. They have no empathy for men at all. And then we wonder why the S rates for men is so high. And unfortunately, society does not give a space for men to actually express these feelings and let them out in a healthy way. These same broads, I'm not saying she said this, but these same broads, they'll get on here and say, I want men to be more emotionally available. I want men to talk about how they feel. But then the moment a man does talk about how they feel, guess what? These bitches clown them. And then we wonder why men self-deletion rate is so damn high. But I'm so empathetic. That's what these bitches will say. I'm an empath. And I just feel what everyone feels and I care so much. Oh my God. Look at this loser. He said a woman essayed him. You must not be a real man if a woman could do that to you. That's how these broads sound. That's how these broads behave. These bird brain heifers, they don't give a damn. All they think about is myself, myself, myself. And they think because they say they're empathetic, they say that they're empaths, that it makes it true. Bitch, it doesn't.
Do you know why I think I have like a good marriage? I think it's because my husband's never here.
I have a good marriage because my husband's never here. Do you have a marriage at that point? Or you just have a contract? Somebody go check on Akaash. Somebody go send that man a fruit basket. Okay, send him a subscription to BetterHelp.
So I've been getting a lot of comments that I'm using my husband for clout, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. No lies were told. I am leveraging the support I have. It's kind of like nepotism, but like through my husband, so like spousal nepotism. What's wrong with that?
If everything else wasn't a problem, I wouldn't have an issue with that last part. Justin has different things that he's working on. If I use my platform to promote that, guess what? We're helping each other. If Justin has something going on and then I use some of his resources to help build my platform, guess what? That's contributing to the household because we're leaning on each other, we're building, we're utilizing each other's strengths, each other's access. If you guys are leaning on each other to build things up, then that's good. I don't see anything wrong with that because then you're contributing more to the household. So I don't inherently have an issue with that. I do have an issue with it once you tell me all of this, because that means you're throwing your man under the bus for clout. You're humiliating him to gain that following. I wouldn't be surprised if she's planning to leave him. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if she's getting her ducks in a row, leveraging all of this hatred and vitriol towards him online, talking about all these things she done did, talking about how she want to get ran through, talking about all this nasty nonsense. I would not be surprised if she's saying all these crazy things about this man in order to build up a following and then leave him, depending on those marriage laws, divorce laws, run him to the cleaners. I would not be surprised. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if she popped out with an OnlyFans. Somebody go check on that man, make sure that he's okay. Because the comment section under all the Flagrant videos, I'm not going to be surprised if they're eating his ass up. If Flagrant Podcast posts an interview that has nothing to do with relationships, guess what's going to be in the comment section? You're a cuck. You're this. You're that. Nothing styling on topic, effectively ruining a brand. Who's to say if Akaash may not get the boot from the Flagrant podcast if it starts to decline the brand? They might tell him he needs to get up out the paint because you're messing up the bag, because you're a bum ass wife. Who, man, you said she's trying to make him leave her so she can take 80% of everything. And this is why men are terrified of marriage, and rightfully so. That's why I said I'm not a stickler with doing things with the state, because guess what? Like this could happen.
Of why me and my husband broke up before we got married and why it ended up being the best decision we ever made. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Jasleen. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. And my husband is a full-time stand-up comedian and he buys me lots of nice things.
I'm a stay-at-home wife. I don't cook. Bitch, what do you do? Goodness gracious.
Sharing this because I share a lot of content with my husband, and I think sometimes it, is escapist and kind of gives you guys like this idea that we're in a fairy tale, which is so sweet, but it definitely wasn't always like this. And I want to normalize like true fights and issues that couples definitely go through. I met my husband in 2015. I was 22, he was 31. I was very young in life experience.
So all this ran throughness, it happened by the age of 22? Or did this occur after you already knew him?
We fell in love like super quick. We're very enamored with each other and everything just like moved really fast. For the first 2 years, we would get in these big blow up fights, but because we were so like enamored with each other, like we wouldn't last long. We'd just be like, okay, let's make up and have makeup sex and like whatever. Like 2 or 3 years later, like around 2017 or 2018, the problem started to worsen because like the honeymoon stage had kind of ended and fundamental like conflict started coming out where my husband would just like hold everything in and then he would start like screaming at me, and then I would get really triggered because we both grew up in trauma households. So for me, like screaming was just like very triggering to me. If I would have a criticism, he would be like, oh, I'm never good enough for you. It would be like, how are you getting this from what I'm saying? And it would just turn into these like really, really toxic blow up fights that we didn't know like how to handle. So then we decided to do couples therapy, which was kind of weird because we were like pretty young and pretty like new into our relationship. We couldn't afford like an out-of-network therapist, so we found a therapist at the White Institute, which if you are in New York City, I do definitely recommend them for like a cost-effective therapist. Like they can help find you someone. She was so amazing, and it was like kind of like the like light turned on for both of us. It would be like, Akaash, like when Jasleen says this is what she's trying to say to you, and Jasleen, when Akaash comes back with this, he's actually saying this. And it just like really like opened our eyes to how many of our fights were miscommunication. He was getting a lot of work from MTV, like his first show was Wildin' Out, and then he did Guy Code, and he was just like on a bunch of MTV shows, and he was able to like reach a 6-figure salary, which at the time was really huge for us. But then in 2018, like all of the opportunities started to dry up. He was kind of aging out of the MTV bracket, and he wasn't really getting any attention from the industry, so he was pretty much losing all his income. And at the same time, I was working a really toxic job with like a toxic manager and like working till 2 in the morning, and it just caused a lot of stress on our relationship. I really wanted to get married and like wanted to move forward, and he was like, I don't even know who I am as a man if I'm not even able to achieve something I poured 15 years into, and like I don't even know how I'm going to provide for you or our future as a family. And everything came to a head when my mother-in-law came to visit us, and I was being very distant because of everything we were going through. Akaash was very stressed, and I think she kind of internalized it like that I was being bitchy towards her or passive aggressive towards her.
How much you want to bet she was actually being bitchy and passive aggressive towards his mama? How much you want to bet she was doing all those things she's saying? I wouldn't be surprised.
Basically, Akaash did not defend me, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can be in a relationship with this person anymore.
So after this, we both took a much needed break, and we just needed time to reflect on our own outside of the relationship. I took a trip to India with my mom for my cousin's wedding. We went to see their Bar Sahib, which is the holiest Sikh temple, and I just wanted to find my identity again and reconnect with my spirituality. And similarly, Akaash needed to find his voice within the relationship and find his voice between his mom and me.
How much you want to bet she started getting slick at the mouth as soon as those opportunities started drying up?
Really, a couple months later, I just had this epiphany. We were still getting in fights, but Akaash went on his own trip to India, and my Nana Ji was sick in the hospital. He flew out of his way to go see him in Punjab. I woke up the next day seeing pictures of him, my Masi, and my Nana Ji, and I had this moment where I was like, okay, I know he's the right one. We're gonna make it through this, and like we can make it through anything, and I'm sure that this is the person I want to be with. 6 months later, we were engaged, and my husband started a podcast with his co-host that started generating income. He was able to like do the thing that he love the most, which was stand-up comedy. I just feel like God burned our relationship to the ground so that the soil could like start fresh. And the reason I'm sharing all this is because I know a lot of times when you're looking on social media, it really does seem like a highlight reel and like, oh, they must have always had this perfect life, but it took a lot of like grit and blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, a lot of tears from me. And now me and my mother-in-law have an amazing relationship. My husband is so close with my family. Of course, we still fight. We get into huge fights sometimes, but I think just going through everything we've gone through has brought us so much.
The nerve of this heifer. Let's talk all this about our relationship. We go through all these different things, and then you're out here embarrassing this man. We know it's not sunshine and roses over there, the way you talk about your man. No happily married woman would be out here talking about their husband.
Make sure that when you are choosing a partner, you really choose someone that you know is going to support you through all the bad times, because life is like full of ups and downs.
Not you saying get with somebody that's going to support you while you give your husband no support, while you behave like an op of your husband. See, support for a lot of these broads is a one-way street. And I mean, she said as much. His money is my money and my money is my money. That's what support is for these type of heifers. You don't support your man, because you can't say that you're supporting him while you're getting out here and embarrassing the hell out of him, making him look like a dumbass, making him look like a little simp with no self-respect.
Do you know how exhausting it is when your enemy changes every 5 seconds? So I guess now these red pill guys like wanted to cancel us. Well, you can't get canceled by people you don't respect. And also, like, talk about beta male. How beta of you to attack women. We're just girls. I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. These are the same broads that say they can do anything a man can do. It's I can do anything a man can do until a man says something, then all of a sudden it's, oh my God, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl.
Ew, like you're stinking up the comment section with your stink and your sweat and your during solid core in the Pilates. Like, we don't want you in this space. But you know what I was gonna say though? I did go to solid core today, and you know what the guy said? He was like, so what do we do at solid core? We break down our muscle fibers and we create micro tears, because what happens, guys, when your muscle fibers break down, they come back better and stronger because they repair, and then you physically get stronger. So I'm like, oh, maybe going through all these cancellations and these hate comments or whatever, like, it's actually making us stronger. And I know that in my life, like, every time I've gone through any kind of suffering, like, God has rewarded me with happiness and euphoria.
Happiness and euphoria. Talking about getting ran through by a bunch of men. You're nostalgic. You can't even flick it to your husband. Yeah, you're just so happy. God has blessed you so much. Telling us stories about how you woke up and your butt was hurting. Yeah, that's such a blessing.
Okay guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously my name keeps getting brought up by either women or men.
My name keeps getting brought up even though I'm actively going out and posting videos of myself on social media saying the most outlandish. Even though I'm joining podcasts, information publicly. You gave us this information. You gave us something to talk about, ho. We wouldn't be talking if you had to shut the hell up. If you hadn't said anything, guess what? This live stream would have had a completely different thumbnail. I would have watched completely different videos. I wouldn't be reacting to this right now. I wouldn't know who you are. You gave us reasons to talk, bitch. You added us to the group chat. I did not send you a request.
Lately, it's these red pill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying, whatever. I'm not even gonna elaborate because I don't care to explain myself to them.
I don't care about explaining myself to them, but watch me explain myself to them. Proceeds to explain herself to them. Just be honest, you do care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be filming this damn TikTok.
But what I will say is, if you're not gonna be a man for women, like if you're gonna say, oh, women should do this for us and we're the prize and blah, 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 at least be a man for yourselves. And what I mean by that is, so I just watched Don't Worry, Darling, finally on Netflix. It's like that movie from 2 or 3 years ago that everyone was talking about. Spoiler alert. But basically, these men live in this like virtual reality simulation.
So she's gonna relate it to a fictional movie. That's your argument. A fictional movie made by a raging feminist.
Where everything is perfect. They go to work. Their wives clean on them, wait for them. You know, they're like, the wives are basically dependent on their men. Like 50s aesthetic, but like the dark side. At the end, you find out that these women never consented to be in this like virtual reality thing. And like when the women start glitching is when the memories of their real life start coming back. And there's this one scene where Chris Pine, the person who orchestrates this whole like utopic town or whatever, he tells Harry Styles to dance for him. And Harry Styles dances for him like a little monkey. That's what I feel like you guys are doing. Whether it's Andrew Tate or the Red Pill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're still a little bitch beta.
There's someone I'm thinking of that we could say this very same thing to. That when somebody tells them to jump, they say how high and they start jumping like a jackrabbit. Oh yeah, that's your husband, right? That's your husband. We can say that your husband's a little beta bitch for you because he'd have to be to still be in that relationship dealing with your ass, paying your bills.
Boy, doing whatever these men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a problem?
Now, I am curious, to be fair, I am curious about the kind of jokes he's telling about his wife. Because if he's saying some real salacious things about his wife, then I guess you guys deserve each other. I guess I can leave that door open, or maybe he's joking about her in a salacious way, and then I could just say you guys deserve each other.
Because I don't have a mic in my hand? Like, make it make sense. I'm not here for the misogyny. One thing that I will say, being canceled by this like people doesn't affect me as much because I genuinely don't respect them. I'm just like, okay, like talk about me all you want, drive traffic to my page. Our YouTube video, our podcast episode that me and Nahal did got 37,000 views, which for us is really high because we're just starting out. So I'm like, okay, keep driving traffic. I'm not even gonna read any of the comments. So it's like, what are you doing this for? Like, there's no way you can be happy. Like, you cannot be happy just doing this. And I feel like if you honestly just try to find God.
Not this freakily telling us we need to find God. Not this freakily talking about how she wants to bust it open for a frat house telling us we need God. Sis, you need a STD screen. You need some birth control. That's what you need if you're not already on it. You need a chastity belt. Bitch, that's what you need. Talk about we need to find God. After she done told us about a man run up in her butthole. We need God? Bitch, you need God.
I'm just gonna really just start it off here. Before you got in here, I was asking Akaash about like, right, his first time, like, you know, with you, not as much, but like, how did it go with other women, talking about never having a blowjob? What the So, he's 34. How old are you?
25.
Okay. So like, you meet him.
9 years.
Yeah.
He's never had sex and he's older than you. Were you like, ew?
Yeah.
It's funny because like the guy that I was kind of with right before him was also a virgin. And
Stole it from a black dude. What's up? I stole it from a black dude.
The black man was a virgin?
I know,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He was like really like on some principled shit, and I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't want to lose his virginity. But when I met Akaash, I was at the point where I was ready because I don't know if you told her because I was.
Oh no, I didn't know you were a virgin too.
So I was a virgin too when I met him.
Didn't she just say that she was popping her pee in college? Didn't she just say that she was on Tinder and then woke up and her butthole was sore? So were these things happening while you were dating this man? And you were just screwing other people? The story isn't adding up.
That's why she don't know that is trash.
That's why.
She don't know no better.
I do have no idea.
You gotta get him ignorant, you know what I mean?
No, so I felt like I was like at a place where I was ready, and then I found out he was a virgin, and then I was like, great. Like, do I have to wait again? But I think like we just connected very well that it went without saying that we wanted to.
How did you guys meet?
Show. She had a
The
fat ass and I
Hoboken
chased her down.
Wait, you met at one of his shows?
No, we're at the Hoboken Comedy Festival. And
Andrew.
Different.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this.
And
Do
I-
you believe her?
Now I'm speculating with the information, so all of this is allegedly. So what it seems like, allegedly, is that he thought his wife was a virgin, but then after he married the broad, now it's all coming out about all of these different sexual excursions that she's had. You know, popping her pee at the frat house, hooking up with men on Tinder. I don't know how you recover from that.
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. I remember I was just like, what? But she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sure. Did you lie, or did you come right out and say like, "Oh, me too," or was it what did that conversation go like?
I don't remember how it came. I think she said
You
it.
blacked out?
She said it, and then I was like,
When she said, "I'm a virgin," you went, your heart exploded.
Yeah.
Well, you get happy. He's nothing compared to.
Exactly, dude. I was
a stallion compared to anybody else.
I was
that's great.
so happy.
Yeah, that's for
so
sure.
relieved.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it felt right. It was like, oh, God brought me this person that like we already connected, and like she also isn't having sex.
And that's I'm gonna leave this conversation here today. My sneaking suspicion is that this is not the last that we're gonna hear about this.
That's my suspicion too. I'm at a loss for words. Y'all know I always have something to say. Even I am at a loss for words. It seems like he got, or he's playing dumb. I don't know. But what I do know is that everything she said was foul. Take us out the group chat. Just shut the hell up. Now I'm starting to understand why they were saying that women need to delete social media when they get married. I'm starting to believe it too. Delete that because these broads, they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves but to thumb thug on their husband. Hopefully this situation with Akaash and his thought pocket wife, it gets resolved in a healthy manner. But if he doesn't want to hold her accountable for her then guess what? I ain't gonna feel bad for him. If he chooses to stick with her ass, not my problem. I ain't gonna be sitting over here crying for you when you got all the information and you choose to stick it out with this heifer after she done embarrassed you.